Konichiwa. Now, this isn't my normal content. However, I must confess, this deep, dark secret that rests upon my chest. This is a tale from my youth. At the time, my senses were dull. Only selfishness ran through my childish skull. Now sit back, relax. Listen to this poem I wrote about how a greedy little pussycat got all this frosty smoke. Our story begins with a young me, just chilling with my cousins, when the younger one cried out, "I am sick and tired of doing nothing." Then the older one replied,
"Instead of lazing around, how about we go outside and play and just start running around?"
And so they did, and for a while it was perfect. They could beat the heat yet, for they had no AC, nor a full fridge, not even the internet. As time passed, Mama Frost came home with a white bag in hand, with that familiar logo that's all too easy to understand. Our eyes were opened and our mouths dripping. 'Twas impossible not to, in the sight of that scrumptious Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, to many of you, KFC's no big deal, but where we lived, it was so rare that it was considered a 5-star meal.
No cap.
As I took the bag, the fragrance hit me. The smell of juicy chicken thighs and French fries aplenty. Then in my peripherals, my cousin stared at me, and I glared back saying, "You ain't getting nothing, you're hungry."
Say what he said.
Then the younger one replied, "I don't want none." Then the older replied,
"I don't need none."
But they were clearly faking. You could tell by their faces that them two was clearly hating. I went in and ravished my first thigh, but before I can continue, my younger cousin screamed, "You're not gonna just leave us out here, is you?" Annoyed with his plea causing me grievance, I muttered to myself, "Don't eat the I'm eating." So I covered my food and went outside, jump roping. But I, being a genius, left the front door open. Now Jack hadn't a care in the world, not about this or that, but he should have taken heed to that prickly house cat.
Meow, meow.
The little thing said, as she stood there lusting after her daily bread. She pounced on the table, one platform to another. She was so skilled, she even removed the cover. A little while passed and Jack grew peckish. His cravings came back. Then he said, "I'll be right back, I'm just getting a snack." Jack was excited. He was reaching his holy grail. But instead of gold, Jack found a tail. Jack's jaw dropped with the quickness. This cat was chomping on his chicken like nobody's business. A million thoughts rushed through Jack's mind, but "Arr!" were the only words that he could find. The cat was shooketh. She knew she must get out. So off she went with Jack's chicken in her mouth. Jack's rage was lava. It made his heart melt. So he raided Mummy's panty drawer and took out her belt. The cat, being victorious, enjoyed some fine dining, but was caught off guard when she heard some kid crying. She turned to ponder at the child, but before she knew it, he suddenly sprang at her faster than a bullet. Her instincts were tingling, yet skills she couldn't match. So without thinking, she leapt away with her catch. She tried juking Jack, hoping to catch him slipping. She tried breaking his ankles, but she was no Corey Kenshin. Jack was close. Before her eyes did her puny light flash, when Jack reeled back his belt and gave her a slash. Okay. She cried as dumb cat tears filled her stupid little eyes. Her judgment was nigh. To escape, she needed luck. 'Twas at this moment she knew that she done fricked up.
Raging, brother.
Then Jack, not being content with just one, used a flurry of lashes to ensure the damage was done. Then, using whatever strength she could dispense, maneuvered her way over the neighbor's fence. Seeing that he'd lost, Jack gave the loudest cry he could have given. After all, the cat took his biggest piece of Kentucky Fried Chicken. whenever it's remembered. But there must always be frost in my heart, never an ember. So, there's our tale's end. That's how it happened. Well, what did his cousins do when they found out, you ask? Well, they just laughed at him. Now, some of you might think this was very cruel of me. No, you could have done less. But I'd do it again if another cat dared to take my KFC. I don't care what Peter says. Well, that's it for me. Please like, share, and subscribe. And do forgive me for being so saucy. But until next time, me boy Bobs, stay frosty.